I don't hear anybody in the vehicle. Hey, are you still in the car?
Right now at 11, a race against time as first responders work to save a driver trapped inside a burning vehicle. Plus, authorities in Camas search for a Christmas morning Grinch they say stole a car, then went on a crime spree. And later,
I mean, it's just gross. It's like there has to be a better way.
Why some neighbors in North Portland say the way the city's handling sewage from a homeless shelter seems particularly unpalatable. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. We begin tonight with that new video of a harrowing rescue in southeast Portland. A warning, some of this may be difficult to watch as first responders rush to help a woman stuck inside a burning car, pull her to safety and save her life. Alma McCarty returned to the scene of that crash tonight.
On Monday, right around this tree here on southeast Mount Scott Boulevard, officers responded to reports of a crash, finding a car engulfed in flames.
Hey, are you in the car?
Frantic shouts from Portland police.
I don't hear anybody in the vehicle. Hey, are you still in the car? Hey, are you still in the car?
As additional first responders make their way to the single vehicle crash, the officers consider that this could be fatal.
There's somebody in there.
The driver, trapped inside, told dispatchers earlier that she was pinned down and on fire.
Fire is on scene. They're working on extrication now.
With the flames under control, firefighters broke the windshield, eventually reaching her, pulling her to safety.
Let's get her further from the car. Further from the car. Lift, lift, lift. Let's start CPR.
Body camera footage shows the first responders reviving her and getting a pulse.
She's still breathing.
Oh, there we go.
Keep breathing, come on.
Meantime, other officials on scene shut down the road and tended to the car stuck in the ditch. Days later, debris still litters the crash site. Police say the driver, a 47-year-old Portland woman, was taken to the hospital with serious injuries and, as of Thursday night, remains hospitalized but is expected to survive. She was also cited, they say, for DUI and reckless driving. In southeast Portland, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Okay, let us talk about the rain, the snow, and the wind. The Christmas storm that at one point left tens of thousands of customers without power, the vast majority, thankfully, now restored. Meanwhile, in the Cascades, Meadows delayed its opening because of gusty winds and avalanche control, and Timberline, well, never opened its slopes. Another day, another storm, right? Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Spino tracking what is headed our way next. Matt?
Well, David, when the resorts open tomorrow, it's going to be quite good. Here's Timberline right now. You can see the snow still falling. The only part of our lens here that isn't iced over at the moment, that'll begin to clear. It's 28 degrees, so it's not super cold. But look at this. There's been 28 inches of snow in the last 2 days up on Mount Hood. So it is going to really improve the coverage up on the mountain, or has improved the coverage up on the mountain. Let's check some of the passes, though, because getting there can be a problem. Now, this is Government Camp. You can see some black pavement, but there is snow on the roads. Temperatures just barely above freezing right now, so a little bit slushy there. Meanwhile, down at Santa Ana Pass at 32. Lots of snow in the air there. Lots of snow in the air as well down at Willamette Pass. So again, the passes are quite snowy, and you're going to be encountering winter driving conditions for sure if you're going up skiing tomorrow. Enjoy some Christmas time up on the mountain, right? Meanwhile, at the coast, it's raining, but the difference is it's not that windy. The winds are only 7 miles an hour right now, and we're not expecting strong winds with this next storm. We are expecting, though, and we have big swells and big seas, so do not turn your back on the ocean. Sneaker waves a threat. I know whale watching season has begun, but with those seas running 18, 15, even 20 feet and higher, we're going to see dangerous conditions on the beaches, basically. Hazarded seas warning is in effect, and a gale warning as well, and you can see the swells up around 20 feet as we go through tomorrow. The winds, though, are not bad. They're easterly right now ahead of this next storm that's rolling on in. They're not going to get too strong overnight tonight or tomorrow. We won't see damaging winds. The gusts should all stay below 30 miles an hour in the Portland area as we go through the early morning hours. But boy, is there rain out there right now. It's heavy out in Washington and Yamhill counties, and that's headed our way. So more rain overnight. Heavy snow in the Cascades, but no strong winds, at least for a couple of days, David. We'll talk about the weekend in a bit. Back to you.
Sounds okay, all things considered. Thanks, Matt. Hey, by the way, stormy weather wasn't the only thing causing trouble on the holiday. In Camas, authorities are trying to track down the suspect they say stole a car on Christmas morning and then went on a crime spree. Celine Stevens has the latest.
It's a punch in the gut, right? Happening on Christmas Day.
Christmas morning, as people were opening presents, this suspect made his way up a driveway in the Woodburn neighborhood in Camas and stole this Mazda.
And to do something again in broad daylight is just ridiculous. I can't understand what's going through this individual's mind.
The car belonged to a family who wasn't home at the time.
From our doorbell camera, you could see kind of like the side of the driveway. And my wife's car, which is the Mazda CX-3, was not visible. And I was like, wait a minute, what was going on?
The suspect then used the car to prowl at least 7 other cars, stealing garage openers, cash, a gift card, and a phone.
It was, a very shocking and just disheartening crime spree that happened in our city on a holiday when people are enjoying family and opening presents.
That car, a dark gray Mazda CX-3 with Washington license plate BSD 5166. Pritam Nandakumar says that car was locked and they had the keys with them.
It's the shock, it's the anger, disappointment, the headache, of having to deal with this. Something that we, again, the last thing on our mind is to expect to wake up to our car being stolen on Christmas morning.
Neighbors I spoke with said they had no clue anything happened until after the suspect was gone.
Didn't hear a single thing. It has been the safest neighborhood that we've ever lived in.
Camas police confirmed yet another vehicle prowl happened again Thursday morning, and now they're looking into whether it's connected to the other thefts.
At this point, everybody's just on high alert, watching out for everything.
Celine Stevens reporting there. Police also want to remind folks to always lock their car doors and remove all valuables from their vehicles. We're learning tonight about a person who managed to sneak past security at SeaTac Airport on Christmas Eve and board a flight without a boarding pass. Port of Seattle police say the individual in question was discovered on board the Delta flight to Honolulu, maybe in search of warm weather, while it was taxiing. The TSA says, yes, the person actually went through standard security, but somehow skipped the ID check.
It's scary, especially this time of year when there are so many passengers flying, and it makes it easier to make mistakes. But it makes you think.
I mean, it's crazy. I don't know how anyone would get through security and everything. They check your ID numerous times.
Delta says the plane taxied back to the gate and police swept the aircraft. Authorities say they later found the suspect in a terminal restroom and arrested them for criminal trespass. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, the reward is growing in the search for the suspected arsonist who torched ballot drop boxes in Portland and Vancouver the week before the election. The Washington nonprofit Arson Alarm Foundation is offering a $5,000 reward for tips that lead to an arrest in the Vancouver case. That's on top of $25,000 put forward by the FBI. Surveillance video from the Portland incident reported a dark-colored Volvo sedan with the driver appearing to place something into the drop box shortly before it exploded. If you know anything, contact the FBI or the Arson Alarm Hotline. Several men are facing solicitation charges after a Portland police mission targeting trafficking and prostitution activity near Northeast 82nd and Sandy. Police say they arrested or cited 9 people last Thursday. 7 people, likely trafficking victims, were offered resources. And negotiations between Providence and the Oregon Nurses Association have resumed after a 5-day cooling off period. The two sides have been working toward a new contract for months until negotiations stalled last Friday. If they can't reach an agreement, more than 5,000 doctors and nurses at 11 Oregon hospitals and clinics could go on strike. The union is required to give a 10-day notice to Providence before workers walk off the job. In North Portland, some neighbors say they are concerned that the city appears to be dumping sewage from a shelter into a pipe outside their homes and multiple times a day. Turns out the city has a permit to do just that and calls that sewage drain the most environmentally sound and cost-effective spot to dispose of waste from the new shelter along North Portland Road. The tiny home and RV village for up to 200 people has a septic system that needs to be cleared regularly. Neighbors have mixed opinions.
I really want to support that work, and I think they're doing a really good thing, but ultimately they should be finding a safer place to be dumping the sewage. Lots of people come down here with their dogs and their kids to play.
And my house is closest to it, and we don't mind so much because we understand the necessity, right? I think it's better to be generous with what we have.
A spokesperson for the city telling KGW the closest alternative is in Tigard, though it's looking at ways to mitigate the impact on that neighborhood.